The false bravado, the excessive chatter, the touchdown celebrations. The NFL is littered with cocky players, but who are the cockiest? In this edition of Pro Football Weekly's Top 5s, we count down the top 5 cockiest players in the NFL as decided by Pro Football Weekly's editors.
Philip Rivers does a lot of talking.
I think about him constantly flapping his jaw.
Well, he's just always talking.
Whether it's at the fans in the stand,
He's talking to opponents, he's talking to teammates.
at Jay Cutler across the sideline.
Don't always know what he's saying, but it appears to be something arrogant in nature.
I think a lot of it is directed at his own teammates, at least what we saw last year.
What has he done? He hasn't gotten into a big game really in the postseason quite yet.
He's never won the AFC, he's never reached the Super Bowl.
A lot of teams would love to have him, but we could go without a little bit of the shenanigans that we see from him.
The fact that he can shut down almost any receiver in the NFL, that would make me cocky if I was that player.
He's the best corner in the league, bar none. He can, again, another guy, he can talk all he wants and then some. I think even more so maybe than Rivers.
He really seems to have become enamored with the whole Revis Island concept.
When you have your own island, I could see why perception comes in.
But I think it's kind of like Deion Sanders where he's cocky, but he has the skills to back it up.
What strikes me about Darrelle Revis is how he always manages to talk smack about other guys and then throw in the fact that he still respects them after he's done calling them names.
But he's really, really good.
That's a guy that argued with EA Sports over his own Madden rating.
Well, I always think back to the quote where he says if a receiver happens to catch a ball on him, that he considers it luck. If a receiver catches 2 balls, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it's pretty much it's an impossibility.
Sometimes his cockiness is out of whack, and his performance doesn't always match up to it.
I think the difference between Hall and Revis is you never hear people talk about D'Angelo Hall as being one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, so I think he might get that cocky label.
He's a guy who is a big fan of himself.
He's definitely one of the cockiest.
Well, he was giving us, a little of this before he had done too much in his NFL career.
You go back to college, his days at Auburn, talks about how he accomplishes more in 1 year than most guys do in a lifetime.
We saw it before he ever took the field, entertainer and icon.
Cam Newton refers to himself as iconic.
He's an entertainer and an icon and a great player before he'd even taken a snap.
And that entertainer icon quote will live in infamy.
He showed up at the combine and he gave this prepared statement.
Doing the superhero routine when you've only got 6 wins under your belt as an NFL quarterback might be a little bit much.
Like a lot of these guys, I think he needs sort of that edge, to feel like the world is against him.
And I kind of like the Superman thing, honestly. I mean, I like it.
Give him some credit. He played pretty darn well as a rookie, and he proved a lot of people wrong.
He's a very special athlete, and I think any chance he gets, he lets people know what a special athlete he is.
When I heard that we were doing this cockiest players, Deshaun Jackson's one of the first guys that came to my mind.
He's only 25 years old, so he's got that young, brash quality that I think makes him a good receiver, but it also detracts from his game, too.
He never is afraid to talk about how good he is.
He's sometimes too worried about flipping the ball on an opponent like he did against the Giants last year.
And he does the first down thing every time.
He makes it clear that he enjoys being in the spotlight.
It's not surprising he ended up number 1.
There you have it. Deshaun Jackson is the cockiest player in the NFL as voted on by Pro Football Weekly. Let us know what you think by sending us a response on Twitter. And to check out the latest top 5s, check us out at ProFootballWeekly.com.